We have Tufts in lane 1, Trinity in lane 1, Tufts in lane 2, Williams in lane 3, William Smith in lane 4, Wesleyan in lane 5, and Bates in lane 6. These crews are already just about to hit the 400-meter mark of this course, with all crews going at it pretty well across right now.
Yeah, Tufts got a lead early. They broke first and they got out there by half a boat.
Yes, this Tufts crew all day, all the Tufts rowers have been throwing down really fantastic performances all day, and this second varsity 8 crew proceeds to pretty much...
Wesleyan's in second. The red oars, red blades.
Yes, they've brought themselves out ahead of this field. They have almost a length on their nearest competitor, with Trinity and Wesleyan both currently sitting in that vying position for second. It appears though Trinity actually has a slight lead over Wesleyan as they go through those 500-meter buoys, even though it is very close.
Well, Trinity is about 3/4 of a length back of Tufts. Tufts threw down a really good start. We kind of missed it because we were busy with the finish of the previous race while, the starter trying to make up 9 minutes of delay owing to the false starts of the third level final. So we've got Trinity trying to charge back on Tufts. Tufts, the aggressor. They got to the 500 first. Wesleyan was in the conversation, but I think that Trinity is showing a lot of aggression over in lane 1. They are really throwing it down. They're giving everything they can to come back on Tufts. Looks like an awfully big commitment in this headwind on their part, but it's courageous.
Nonetheless, they're doing a really great job trying to reel back up this Tufts crew. Tufts, that fantastic start really got them off to a strong position, and as I've mentioned previously, could be a strong mental game with some of their competitors who now might try to adjust their race plans in order to try to compensate for that early lead that the Tufts rowers managed to get.
Well, Williams and William Smith are back. That's a little bit surprising, given the morning times. Trinity knew that they had to be there to be with that Tufts team, and they've been doing everything they can to try to stay on terms. They still have overlap at the 1,000. They've got maybe half a length on Wesleyan. So those are the 3 crews going for gold in that position right now. If Tufts can hold on to it in the second half, they have the lead. Trinity in silver, only tenuously ahead of Wesleyan. Wesleyan perhaps a third of a length, maybe a half a length back of Trinity. Those 3 leaders have a boat length over Williams, and then William Smith trails, as does Bates over in lane 6.
Bates is also, though they're in the outside lane and you can't necessarily see them on all of these parts of the screen, Bates is putting together a really good performance out in lane 6. I would not be surprised to see them kind of sneak into that medal contention over the next 1,000 meters or so, given that we are about 1,200 meters into this race.
Well, Tufts looks like they're getting comfortable. They sort of crept out almost to a full length over Trinity. Trinity and Wesleyan still fighting. Looks like Trinity has still got the better of that one. It's starting to, this race, as is expected when you've got this headwind, the race is starting to stretch out a little bit. People are starting to get margins. Tufts really looks under control. The body position in the boat from this overhead, you can see just how they're doing work right over the keel and then turning into their riggers at the catch, really taking the water together. They're getting a bit of open water over Trinity. Trinity is starting to take the measure of Wesleyan. So Trinity has second place at this moment.
And they're through to that final 500 meters in all 3 of the top crews right now. Trinity definitely crossed that line ahead of that Wesleyan crew. while Tufts is establishing themselves as the gold medal favorites and ones to beat in this field. It is very unlikely that anybody will catch them in this final 500. They look in control and extremely smooth as they're progressing through this course.
Yeah, that's varsity level rowing there in that second varsity from the Jumbos. The second half of this race, they have owned it. And it's largely just, it's a combination of everything. But early on, the fight was really even. As it played out, that third 500 just broke it all apart. Trinity still chasing just ahead of Wesleyan. Trinity in silver medal position with every stroke as they get closer and closer to the finish line. It looks better for Trinity versus Wesleyan. Wesleyan has a clear lead in third place. But nobody looks as sharp as Tufts.
No, Tufts is moving with such great efficiency right now and some fantastic blade placement across their entire 8. You can see all those rowers, their body swing is just moving so well together, and they are really just a single unit moving through this water. However, that battle for second is starting to get a little bit interesting. That Trinity boat is really powering through that last couple meters of this race to try to establish themselves as the silver medalist here.
Look at that Trinity rating go up. They're not giving up anything. They're still fighting for it, even as the Jumbos cross the line. Just a tiny bit of open water up on Trinity, and Trinity an equal amount up on Wesleyan.
Trinity made up almost a half length over Wesleyan in those closing meters of the race. They did a really great job when they brought that rate up in that sprint portion.
I think it was Bates taking fourth. Not sure. It must have been. I didn't really catch the finish. We'll have to look at it, or at least I'll have to look at it online. And if you're looking for results, you can go to that website, which is nirc.qra.org. Pretty simple website to remember.
And now we're looking at the petite final of the men's second varsity 8. Off to start, we have Coast Guard in lane 1, WPI in lane 2, Hamilton in lane 3, Skidmore in lane 4, and Conn College in lane 5. With a slightly smaller field than the women's second varsity 8, there is still plenty of competitive nature in this men's event. Off to start early, it appears as though WPI and Coast Guard are leading the pack over in lanes 1 and 2. Both boats are about to come even with us, and we should get a better idea of where those bow balls sit in relation to each other. It appears as though WPI has a 3-seat lead over that Coast Guard boat, and they are continuing to move through them. Coast Guard is sitting comfortably in second with about 6 seats over Skidmore. Skidmore is sitting another 6 seats over Hamilton, and then back in 5th we have Conn College.
Well, as the position of the sun changes, we lose a little bit of the contrast in kind of the glare that would show us where those white buoys are, but the big red buoys still show up pretty well. And you saw at that line that it was lanes 1 and 2 that were right up there contesting the lead. Over here in lane 4, Skidmore was in 3rd.